Chuck Schumer's decision is to hand, as I said on a couple interviews yesterday, the keys to the kingdom to the president, right?
We are into it. First of all, we are going to end all sanctuary cities.
Attorney General Pam Bondi putting sanctuary cities across the country on notice, giving them 1 week to comply with federal immigration laws or face action from the Justice Department.
Governor Cox also cites a memo that Bernanke's office issued a memo calling Utah a sanctuary state.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection data shows Salt Lake City is now one of the top destinations in the country where immigrants are settling.
Travis Wayne Goodsell, I have again confirmed, as it's now an established fact, because I've got more than 3 confirmations, that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are committing as a pattern of practice crimes against me specifically. They have been torturing me, they have been abusing me, they have been cyber terrorizing me, they have been threatening me, verbally abusing, all the crimes committed against me, the attempts to murder me, the attempts to take away my liberty, the attempts to take away my property are all caused by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Confirmed as fact. Nobody else is responsible. Only the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who claim they're peacemakers, who claim they love, who claim that they don't commit crimes, who claim to be good moral people. I know they lie. It is an established fact. Matthew chapter 1. Moving on. The book of the generation of Jesus, Messiah ben David ben Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, Isaac begat Jacob, Jacob begat Judas, Judas begat Pharez and Zara of Thamar, and Pharez begat Ezram, and Ezram begat Aram, and Aram begat Aminadab, and Aminadab begat Naasan. Naasan begat Salmon. And Salmon begat Boaz. Booz, technically. Of Rahab. And Booz begat Obed of Ruth. And Obed begat Jesse. Wish that I had Jesse's girl. And Jesse begat David the king. The King of Kings. And David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Urias, whom we will not name Bathsheba. And Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abiah, and Abiah begat Asa, and Asa begat Josaphat, and Josaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Ozias, and Ozias begat Joatham. Joatham begat Achaz, and Achaz begat Ezekias, and Ezekias begat Manassas, and Manassas begat Ammon, and Ammon begat Josias, Josias begat Jeconias, and his brethren, about the time they were carried away into Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salathiel, and Salathiel begot Zorobabel. Zorobabel begot Abiud, and Abiud begot Eliakim, and Eliakim begot Azor, and Azor begot Sadok, and Sadok begot Achem, and Achem begot Eliud, and Eliud begot Eleazar, and Eleazar begot Mathan, and Mathan begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So Joseph is the father of Jesus? Sperm, egg, baby? The angel appears in a dream to Joseph, calls him the son of David, says, "Fear not to take your pre-pregnant wife, Mary, you shall call the baby Jesus, for he shall save people in their sins." Gonna miss you, Nelson. Gonna miss you so much. Verse 22. Now all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel. Well, who's the prophet? We all know it's Isaiah, so we won't go there for that tangent. But there's some stuff that you do need to know from Isaiah that is kind of left out. Sort of. The author of Matthew covers it. So, come on guys, where'd you put the footnote? I mean, they put the first Nephi 11 in here. Come on guys, come on. Joseph Smith, Matthew 16d. Joseph Smith adds, as the prophets have written, who is called Christ, of whom was born Jesus, as the prophets have written, who is called Christ. And then they put the Greek title Christ and the Hebrew title Messiah are synonyms, meaning anointed one. So instead of putting GR, anointed one, as they were supposed to do, there it is on 23, not 22. Supposed to be put on 22. I made the correction. I hope they left it. Do we dare take the time to check? It looks like I'm not being attacked. Matthew chapter 1, verse 22. They've refused a lot of my other stuff. Matthew was one of my first ones, so they may not have altered that. David. 16 years reading from a manual to little kids in seminary, and you think you know better than me? It's the same setting in every picture of a person's home. It's a stage prop, you bastards. There's a young boy who's going to watch conference. It's the same room that other pictures have been taken of people watching something, whether it's conference or whatever, of the church. Unbelievable. It's the same TV. Am I still recording? Yes. Nope, they rejected me. You bastards. But they do have it at the beginning for 23A, right? Yeah. Okay. So instead of putting it at profit, they still, it's that. They didn't change it, you bastards. I had the Jesus card, guys. You're not supposed to touch me in my work. Unbelievable. So, supposed to include verse 13. You're technically also supposed to include chapter 6, verse 1. Hear now, O house of David, thus son of David, Messiah ben David. Therefore, the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Because Paleo-Hebrew had gone extinct, and certain dumbass scholars have screwed it all up and claimed that Proto-Sinaitic is older than Paleo-Hebrew. People don't know. It's been covered up and hidden over time. The biblical Hebrew text uses Aramaic script, not Paleo-Hebrew script. So you don't know that is the A and the chi in Greek, X shape. That is the word sign in Paleo-Hebrew. So that is missing from Matthew. And then behold, a virgin rather than a woman. Kind of important. A virgin has never had a baby. A woman has had a baby. That's also something very crucial in interpreting correctly the New Testament. You know, like adultery. Whosoever looketh upon a woman to lust after her. Kind of important to know the difference in word definition meaning. Shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Notice there's nothing else after this. In the biblical Hebrew text, they correctly separate Amen and El. It is not one word. Can be, but the biblical Hebrew text separates it. to emphasize it's the God Amen, even though Emmanuel is still God Amen. You know, like Elijah, God Yah, even though it's combined together. Okay, so this version is the one in the Book of Mormon, not the Matthew version, with the extra stuff put in by a Christian when they compiled their Bible together. Probably should cover Jeremiah first before we move on to the pop quiz, Mormons. Jeremiah 23. After condemning church leaders who scatter the sheep and refuse to gather them to Zion. Verse 5. Behold, the days come. This is what's called a prophecy, a prediction of the future by prophets. Just to clarify, this is not a person speaking as a title about something that happened in the Roman period time in the past. Saith the Lord that I will raise up unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days, Judah shall be utterly destroyed with the second temple. It doesn't say that, does it? And Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called. Yahweh, King Yahweh. What is it? Yahweh King Zadok. I think it's Yahweh King Zadok. You can check Jeremiah 23. Because it looks like the Mormons are still sleeping, as today is the final day for dress rehearsal and makeup. Are you kidding me? I put Jeremiah 23. Okay, 6. Yeah, it's King Zadok. Melchizedek. Paleo-Hebrew version of it. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children out of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Who did that? Charlton Heston, of course. Moses. Moses is the Lord. The Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Moses did. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. This is Isaiah's Emmanuel, who is a man like Moses. Thus, Deuteronomy 18, verses 15 through 19. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet, who just has the title, right? Doesn't predict the future like this prophet does with the future tense will. From the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto Moses. So here's the pop quiz. Nothing else to see in scriptures. Which religion's Christ is Jesus in Matthew chapter 1? A, the Jews. B, the Christians. C, Islam. D, Brigham Young Mormons. E, Joseph Smith Mormons. Is there a difference? F, other, because there are those who have an other. There are atheists who will accept that Jesus was a real human. But if you call him a human during the Roman period of time, you're still validating the Christian Jesus Christ. Oops. Who could he be now? Who could it be now? Awesome picture. Awesome. Who can it be knocking at my door? Go away. Don't come round here no more. Joseph Smith History, 1838, in our canon scripture. Verse 40, second vision. Exactly the same pattern as Lehi's second vision in 1 Nephi chapter 1. Oh, look, verses 8 through 10. That looks familiar. He quoted also the 3rd chapter of Acts, 22nd, 23rd verses, precisely as they stand in our New Testament. By the way, he quoted the 11th chapter of Isaiah first. Isaiah. Saying it was about to be fulfilled, which means during the Roman period of time it wasn't fulfilled. Did you catch that, Mormons? Do we need to go to it? Because you won't go to it if I just tell you that it's the 11th chapter of Isaiah? They won't even put us to the beginning in verse 1. It does not say the 10th verse. Dumbass Bruce Armagonki. He doesn't want you to go to verse 1. But in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To him shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. Isn't that Jesus? Isn't it? Is that the religion's Jesus? And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. Huh. He said that prophet was Christ. So what's in Acts. Chapter 3, 22, 23. For Moses truly said unto the fathers. Hey, didn't we just read from Moses and Deuteronomy? The law of the Jews concerning the Jewish Christ, who's Christian, or is he Islamic? Is he Brigham Mormon? Joseph Smith Mormon? Maybe he's just a man during the Roman period of time. A prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren like unto me. Him shall ye hear in all things whatsoever he shall say unto you. Oh, it is that Deuteronomy guy. He said that prophet was Christ. The man like Moses, Emmanuel, Messiah ben David, they're all the same person. But the day had not yet come. Ooh, wow. It's not Jesus of the Roman period time? When Jesus came according to the prophecy of Jeremiah and destroyed utterly the Jews and the second temple in Jerusalem during the Roman period of time. It's not that Jesus? Warrior Jesus who loses? You know, the warrior Jesus after Deuteronomy was the conqueror. So who's Joseph Smith talking about they who will not hear his voice? Wonder who Joseph Smith would be talking to. Was it the Jews? Is it Christians? Maybe it's Islam. Maybe. Maybe. So here's your answer. Section 103, verse 16, talking about the latter-day millennial Zion and New Jerusalem, the mountain cities. Verse 16, therefore I will raise up unto Mormons a man who shall lead Mormons like as Moses, who is Emmanuel, Messiah ben David, the prophet, what was the other one? A man like Moses, did I say that? Anyway. And the one mighty and strong from section 85, verse 7. That also should have been footnoted to Deuteronomy 18, verse 15. And verse 8 in section 85 should have been footnoted to verse 20 in Deuteronomy 18. Shoulda. And so Mormons are the children of Israel, seed of Abraham, and are going to be in bondage to the great and abominable church with the false prophet who will have gone all around the world to gather up the religious and world leaders to gather against Israel for Armageddon. Revelation chapter 16. This is what we're waiting for. So in the Exodus story with Charlton Heston, literal history documents from video footage live in the Exodus in Egypt with Pharaoh, Yul Brynner. It's all real. Never be fake fiction, Hollywood liberties. It's real. It's actual video footage taken at the time. Stargate has shown this. They found videos on other planets. It's It's all real. Historical documents. Quick, let's get out of here before one of them kills Guy. You don't know. Cultural pop references from Hollywood entertainment. You don't know. You don't know. Moses, Susan Farrell's court in 2020, let Mormons go. Farrell says no. We're running a test run for Armageddon. Priceless. Moses proved his identity, his authority to be the head of the church. Section 107, verses 91 and 92. And again, the duty of the president of the office of the high priesthood is to preside over the whole church and to be like unto Moses. Behold, here is wisdom, yea, to be a seer, a revelator, a translator, and a prophet, having all the gifts of God which he bestows upon the head of the church. So a new guy who's come to my channel was wondering about, isn't Hiram the patriarch, or Eldridge Smith under Kimball, who was fired? Wouldn't he have been the head of the church instead? No, I had to refer him to section 124, even though section 124 is suspect. But it shows also that Senior, whom Hiram replaced, was also all of these. But Hiram was not translator. Senior was. Because Senior was a part of the new Israelites in Vermont and learned Hebrew. Learned about the Urim and Thummim to see the heavens. I haven't seen the picture yet, Oaks. You still working on getting me that picture of you looking into the rock in a hat? You gonna do it at conference? Are we gonna have a conference? I'm still wondering. Still watching and waiting for the final four to happen. Bestows upon the head of the church. So, he proves himself, proves his identity, wins the contest in the court. But Pharaoh says no, refuses to give up the church to Moses. He cannot admit he was wrong. He cannot admit he is Mars, father of Lucifer. Oh, art thou fallen, by the way. I'm watching. I'm waiting. Don't mess with the Jews, Oaks. You don't mess with the Jews. You should have known this by now. Has D-Todd not been telling you stuff? Has he been keeping secrets from you? Like you kept secrets from Hinckley? God, can't believe you likely tried to get me fired too. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I saved you guys $1 million. I was the one who came up with the brilliant idea that you were looking for but couldn't figure it out. Having the Beehive clothing transferred over to the distribution center, I was the one who figured out how to get it done. That was me, Oaks. Didn't they tell you? Didn't they tell you? Or did they just tell you that I was the one who hit the sprinkler that was put right over a location for a pallet? I didn't know there was a sprinkler there. We've got the pallet right in front of me. Not my fault. Not my fault. Their clothing are all unbelievable. Clothing were all in plastic covering in the boxes anyway. They weren't the ones from the Philippines. From the sweatshop of little children in the Philippines. Nonetheless. So, Moses was kicked out. Pharaoh had had enough of Moses, proving that he's the rightful head of the church of Egypt. Wanted nothing more to do with them. Sent him to Gail Miller's concentration camp of hell of human trafficking to convince him, incentivize him to return to activity in the church. It's in there. It was deleted from the, it was like 4-hour-long movie. They had to delete some of the stuff. You got to get the certain DVD that had the extra deleted features. It's in there. Trust me. And so, creeping death takes out the firstborn. And then all hell breaks loose. And Pharaoh says, go. He transfers authority to Moses. Fall of the great and abominable church, the transfer of authority, and the Exodus. Go to the desert to try to build Zion, and Aaron is building a gold cow and orgy sex for the Mormons. What the hell? What the hell's going on? Tabernacles. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Okay. So, that's what we're waiting for. All the prophecies of the enemy have happened. According to the calendar dates and clock times, even. Revelation. They have all happened. The Christ did come. He's here. But again, which religion is he from? Which religion? You can't just pick, and therefore it's true. Because, well, what about the other religions? Well, obviously they're false. Nope, nope, nope. So, no. He showed, as the Jewish authors and Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon told you, we're waiting for the final four. Waiting. You're up, Oaks. You're next. Remember the curse of Joseph Smith. Remember the curse of Emmanuel. You're next. Apparently, you were the one responsible for what was done to me. Possibly Nelson and Faust. That was interesting. I still have to check on that. Nonetheless. So, the new jobs report for September was very poor, and they're not intending, business communities are not intending to hire new people, being the worst reporting in 16 years. 16 years, huh? Wait a minute. That was 2008. D. Todd Christofferson, didn't something happen in 2008? Huh. Wonder what could that have been? D. Todd, do you know? Can you tell people? Will you confess? Do we need to read it? It was Oaks who said it. Takes him so long to get out of there. If your car takes that long to rev up, Oaks explained, after firing and excommunicating September 6th, local leaders are informed by church headquarters 8675309. Bishop, who can I turn to? About members who may possibly be violating church standards. What happened again in 2008? What did I put in that petition for a redress of grievances? Warning you specifically about an economy collapse? When was that? What was going on? Can you refresh my memory, Oaks? And D. Todd Christofferson? Can you? The Church's Strengthening Church Members Committee pores over newspapers and other publications, and when the internet came, so too the internet and social media posts, and identifies members, hey, accused of crimes for filing a petition for a redress of grievances with the state of Utah and the federal government. They didn't bother with that. Preaching false doctrine that Adam fell. Criticizing leadership. It's wrong to criticize leaders of the church, even when that criticism is correct. I warned you I was drooling about you, Oaks. I warned you. I warned you. Or other problems. That information is forwarded on to the person's bishop or stake president, who is charged with helping them overcome problems and stay active in the church. And all you had to do was leave me alone, and I would have stayed active. But you couldn't leave me alone, and you lost me. I would have spent my time going over Paleo-Hebrew, Egyptian, Paleo-Greek, Mesopotamian Hebrew, cuneiform, Aramaic, etc. That was enough to spend the rest of my life preoccupied and distracted away from your 200-year-old plot that still has yet to finish. And you couldn't do it, could you? You couldn't just leave it be. Leave me alone. Nope. Because somehow I was such a serious threat to your authority. And so the law of Purim, Deuteronomy 19:19, kicked in because of what you did to me in 2008. And here we are. Here we are. Fire. Trump demands the sword of King Charles III. And the guy in charge of it quit. What's Trump gonna do with the sword of King Charles III? As he's declared war against Antifa, designating them as terrorists, he's shut down the federal government and is going to deploy the military, not the National Guard also, not the police also, not ICE also, the military on American soil, as he's likely to terminate federal employees today. And there's a reason why Fridays. Because it's either psychologists or they've learned from statistical analysis that when you fire an employee on a Friday after they have finished work, there's the whole weekend for them to cool off. I'm assuming your business doesn't run on the weekends. So that come Monday, they're less inclined to come back to work with an AK-47 and start blowing people up. It also prevents people from suing in courts, as the whole weekend gets to go by. And now Trump was gonna have the sword of King Charles. We do need to find that picture. Forgot to get the Trump 2028 pic from the video yesterday, as I talked about it in the video. Oh, right, I forgot to get that pic. I need to get that pic. We'll get it after the video. And so technically I should get it right now, but we're not going to put it in this video, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. I've already got the thumbnail picture. I don't foresee a Trump picture coming. I did have an other option for a thumbnail picture today, but that took over as I woke up this morning. It was a rough morning, rough sleep lately. It's like I got Armageddon on my mind. I'm very concerned. When's the Final Four? It's always in March, Travis. It's always in March. Don't you tell me that now. Don't you dare tell me that now. Don't you dare say it's extended to March. Don't you dare. So, as I warned from the beginning, AI, for both pictures and for videos, is art. And as such, it needs to be treated as art. And so, it doesn't matter if you like it or you don't like it. It's art. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's art. There's nothing harmful to kids. It's just art. And of course, every new technology has to use women, the most beautiful art form ever. Nonetheless, art. But the problem with AI is that it is pretending to be real. And it is not telling people. Maury Povich and Jerry Springer used to do shows in which they'd have guys or girls get on the show dressed up as the other sex. And the audience was supposed to guess if they can identify if this appearance of a female or a male is actually a female or a male, or are they the other sex? And they're lying and deceiving you. And in some instances, you've got a guy on the show who was pretending to be a girl to pick up a guy at a bar. The guy finds him attractive, takes him home. They begin to kiss, take off clothes, and then he finds out you're a guy. In the news during that time period, there were lots of news stories of that same type of thing, and the guy dressed as a girl gets the hell beaten out of him, if not murdered. The guy was lying, deceiving, hoping that their appearance would be sufficient for the real guy to fall in love with them. And go, it doesn't matter if you've got a third leg and not a well. Nonetheless, they were trying to shame and blame people on Maury Povich and Jerry Springer. And then would come the DNA results. White supremacists. We're going to run your DNA ancestry. Oh, you're black. Oh, humiliation. And yeah, after doing their DNA test, they're kicked out of their little band of merry secret combination robbers and thieves and murderers and rapists, because they're not pure white master race. So yes, AI is experiencing this same type of thing. It is intentionally not identifying itself up front as AI, not real. You know, like that Jesus guy of Christianity. Not real. I'm hearing police sirens in the background now. Interesting. It's amazing. When I was a kid, cranking up the music, turn up the radio, I was told, you're gonna go deaf. It'll cause deafness. You won't be able to hear. Whatever. Don't tread on me. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. And yet I still have excellent hearing. I'm still waiting for my ears to go deaf. And so because of AI not identifying themselves correctly, this has caused many a problem. This is now being pushed and enforced and protected by laws under Trump. As Trump gets his own AI system going, demonstrated how he's taken out, because it's just a video game. It's an AI video game from OpenAI. The Venezuelan drug boats. Trump is just playing the video game. Oh, look, I got him. I got him. See that? I blew him up. So cool. Trump is just playing video games. He thinks it's real. Historical documents. Quick, let's get out of here before one of them kills Guy. I knew it was all real. I knew it. You know, I'm not some kind of an idiot. I know. You do know I'm referring to Galaxy Quest. And so it's gotten even worse. Not just that they're still doing pictures and videos and not identifying it as AI. See, on YouTube, YouTube is the perfect place for art of AI, but they're not labeling themselves as AI on YouTube. And so there are a whole bunch of videos being posted on YouTube that are AI, and they're not telling us it's AI. YouTube is even having advertising by AI that is not advertising itself as AI. And people are unable to know what is real and what is not real. This is being done on purpose. Armageddon, remember? AI has been impersonating people in professional fields and in government. This is a pretty serious crime. You're not supposed to impersonate an officer or a government officer or a doctor or a lawyer, and yet AI is doing it. These are severe national security threat crimes that are going on. All because they are not identifying who they are. So, will not be resolved. Tell everybody can't we just all get along? At first I was afraid, I was hypnotized. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong. And I learned how to get along, and now you're back from outer space. Do I have a theme song yet? I do not. I don't see one. There it is. The replacements version from jail. We don't need, I still got it. So. Many countries, not just America, is trying to ban foreigners from their country. So it's not just a separation of the United States of America into MAGA states versus Antifa states to cause a civil war. It's also all the countries around the world. Yeah, that false prophet of that unknown great and abominable church really spread peacemaker throughout the world. His love as a peacemaker spread to all the world. Yep, we see the fruits. We see the fruits. So yes, this is where the gathering to Zion is gonna. God, you guys are making it so much harder for me. Just waiting for the final four. See, Moses gathers the house of Israel in an exodus to Zion. This is what we're waiting for, the final four. And so, yes, I see how things are getting set up to happen, but until the fall and the transfer occur, I still don't know precisely how the gathering will take place. I know how it should be done if it were to be perfect. So that's what we're waiting for. So I'm very curious. Very curious about major mass murders going on at events, and yeah, there was one in the UK at the Jewish synagogue for Yom Kippur. I'm well aware of that, but it wasn't in the United States of America. But hey, General Conference is this weekend. I'm sure it'll just be a lone shooter, right, Governor Cox? Bastard, throwing a Mormon under the bus, thinking that you're trying to save Utah. You bastard. You're protecting the real shooter, you dumbass. So, AP Mike Johnson. What was the title of that video? It had me wanting to know more about that. Oh, yeah. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. After Trump and J.D. Vance are assassinated by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Speaker Johnson will take over as President of the United States. They'll just have him terminated too. And go on and on until full government is destroyed. After destroying the federal government and transferring authority to the church, and no exodus. But Zion, stay where you are. No exodus, no gathering to Zion. Stay where you are. He says that Democrats are handing the keys of government to Trump. Now, those of you who have been following me should be eyes wide open, mouth wide open, tongue hanging to the floor. Where do we get that from? Where do we get that from, Oaks? Where do we get that from? Church forged scriptures? And after having found it, I was then given a missionary card at the bus stop to restore me to activity to the church, or else, with Metro security. You even got the bus driver against me, you bastard. I was on good terms with that bus driver, and you turned him against me. Bleep you. The gathering at Adam-on-Diamond, in the way to perfection, Joseph Fielding Smith Sr., by voice of the priesthood, page 291. This council in the valley of Adam-on-Diamond is to be of the greatest importance to this world. At that time, there will be a transfer of government authority, keys, from the usurper and impostor, Lucifer, to the rightful king, Dallin H. Oaks. Jesus Christ. I've been repeating this over and over and over again, and they still haven't gotten me back into activity in the church. Nobody is supposed to know about it at the end of the page. And so I let everybody know about it. Exactly. Very weird, Speaker Johnson. Why aren't you showing your son more porn? Utah, a bunch of dumbasses. This is how stupid they are. The news reported that a documented Utahn got arrested by ICE. And they're covering this. They're saying he's documented. You're not supposed to touch him. What do you mean they're not supposed to touch him? Are you not listening to the other states that are likewise complaining about citizens, legal documented citizens who are getting locked up? You're unaware of the enemy within who's getting locked up? Antifa terrorists who are getting locked up? Hardcore terrorist criminals who are getting locked up? Everybody wants to play dumb. I went over the long list of Trump's Antifa. And you're most likely on it, especially if you're in Utah. But for some reason, Trump is not getting word that the church is betraying him and gonna murder him. The whole state of Utah are Antifa. I did the videos during the election when Trump was saying we're gonna shut down all sanctuary cities. Governor Cox, report by an ICE agent in Utah. We're being handcuffed. We're not allowed to do our job. We're a sanctuary state. And the local news report said people feel safe from outside the United States coming to Utah for safety, sanctuary. You're illegal. You're Antifa. You're the enemy within. And Utah plays dumb. And I can't get through to Trump. I can't warn him. So, just hilarious. So, yeah, I saw with the church news, the website, they've forgotten all about Nelson. They've moved on. Nelson who? Who? Oaks has been here the whole time. Who's Nelson? Who is he? He's now a dead prophet. We don't listen to dead prophets. Benson told us as an apostle to not listen to dead prophets, you know, like Jesus and Joseph Smith. Or the Book of Mormon prophets. Only the living prophet is who we are to concern ourselves with, so says Benson to BYU. The fundamentals of a living prophet. It's probably not the exact title, and it most likely isn't, but it's like 14, 17, 7 hike. God. So Democrat states, 16 of them, had their funds frozen. He's making his move. He's coming in. Utah will not be a part of that. There are 20 technically Dem states from the 2024 election. And so I'm wondering why he's just choosing 16 rather than all 20. But I'm sure he's got a final solution for all of this. A master plan. Mormons have been secretly getting raptured. That was going to be the title of the video, or the thumbnail picture. Mormons are going missing here in Utah. Just missing at the bus stop yesterday. I saw posted on the bus stop cage, somebody had put up a paper saying, have you seen this person? Do you know where she is? One of the other people next to her, somebody had written on it, dead. So I don't know if that guy is actually dead. I don't know the woman. I have not seen her in the news. But people are going missing in the state of Utah, just getting kidnapped or just wandering off and ending up dead in the forest next to a rifle with DNA of Tyler's. But yeah, this is concerning. Very concerning. Yeah, Fox 13 was the sanctuary city, Utah. Sanctuary state, Utah. People of faith feel safety in Utah as a sanctuary state. So I found out Tyler's lawyer, or a guy who's been added to the team, was the Menendez brothers' lawyer. And we see how well he did as The Menendez brothers were innocent, and they can't get out of prison. Yep, specifically chosen to do the job again. We're all doomed. I will survive. I don't know how in hell I'm ever gonna survive with all this Armageddon. But I spent so many nights staying up late, can't sleep, writing in my journal about the end of Mormons. Yeah, it needs lots of work on that one. But yeah, Ether, in his cave, watching as Mormons are utterly destroyed. Mormon and Moroni watch as Mormons are utterly destroyed. Notice the pattern in the Book of Mormon. Book of Mormon is a tragedy. Tragedy. I like the Steps version better. It's more exciting, more upbeat.